I've listened to Guts by Olivia Rodrigo since it came out.
And I listened to it once yesterday.
Welcome to Spin It. Hello and welcome back to Spin It, the record-ranking podcast for people who would rather be listening to music. I'm James, and with me is Connor.
Hello!
Welcome back to the podcast. Welcome back to the Year of Redemption. Today, we're tackling our second Year of Redemption pick, Guts by Olivia Rodrigo.
I'll be honest, I know so much about Guts already.
Really?
That for a moment I thought that was the one we already did.
Really? Wow. Why do you know so much about Guts? I mean, you got him.
It was everywhere. It was everywhere. Couldn't escape it, especially like Vampire.
Vampire was everywhere. Yeah, it was. Shoot, we watched her perform Vampire at the Grammys. She did a big tour.
I just heard so much about it. It was everywhere. There was the big tour. The posters were everywhere.
Yeah, no, Guts isn't the one we already did, actually. We did Sour. Way back, we covered Olivia's origin story and her rise to fame as a Disney kid in our first episode about her, episode 54. So, you know, the background is all over there. You'll have to go listen to that episode if you want more of that context. But, yeah, we're talking about everything since Sour today and moving into Guts. And the reason I thought Sour needed a good redemption, I mean, you gave it a 7. That's pretty strong. But, like the whole time we were talking about and listening through Sour, I just couldn't help but feel like we were just so far from the target audience. And when Guts came out, I had a lot of feelings about it compared to Sour. And I wanted to talk about the ways that she's changed as a musical artist. I want to talk about the ways that her demographic has changed as an artist and how we're a little maybe closer to the target audience, even though we're still a little far away from it.
I mean, yeah, as we get older and she gets older, the age gap, you know, it's less significant while we become more peers.
That's right. Yeah, we're not singing about getting our driver's license anymore. We've graduated.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we'll be like 70. She'll be however old she'll be when we're 70.
Close to 70.
And we'll basically be one and the same compared to the people that are our ages now.
Yeah, we'll have a good laugh about it together then.
Yeah.
In the future. We'll look back on these moments and reminisce. But I first of all, I just wanted to compare them. So that's why I thought it'd be a fun one to redeem. And I think Olivia Rodrigo has more than 7 potential.
I've watched more High School Musical, the series.
Have you really? Are they still making it? I don't even know.
No.
She's probably in College Musical, the series now. Was she in the whole series, or did she drop out after a season or two? I can't even remember. And I've never watched the show. But Corbin Bleu was in it, right? They had him cameo.
They had a lot of different people cameo. Jason from Hannah Montana is in one of the seasons. Just tying it back to my girl Miley.
That's cool.
Apparently there's 4 seasons. I've only seen the first 2.
Oh, you're halfway there. I can't believe you've watched more than like an episode. Is it good?
I didn't say that.
You watched 2 seasons of it. Why would you spend so much time?
Listen, I had to do my research.
Okay, well, I did a lot of other research that didn't involve that.
No, okay, to be fair, I thought the first season was kind of novel. I thought they did a decent job with the first season. Like, with the whole, just the concept, right? That it's like a high school show that's a musical, and they're doing High School Musical as their musical. And it just the inception of the whole thing kind of had me a little interested, right?
Sure.
And so I was like, yeah, I'm nothing if not a fair and benevolent TV watcher.
Benevolent TV watcher.
So I will give it a season.
That's very fair.
And I was quite happy with how, for a Disney Channel or Disney Plus or whatever this thing first premiered on, for a Disney Plus show that I'm not the demographic for, I was impressed by it.
Okay.
And then I was like, I wonder, can season 2 live up to that level? And they got me. They got me a little bit. They pulled a bit of a bait and switch. In season 2, they do Beauty and the Beast, not High School Musical 2.
It would be wild to do High School Musical 2.
Well, it's High School Musical, the series.
Well, that's true. But it could be any High School Musical. It doesn't have to be High School Musical.
So you would have thought they would have done like High School Musical 1, 2, 3.
That would have been boring and predictable.
Yeah, but predictable for a reason, right? But they do Beauty and the Beast. But they do make fun of that because all the characters, all the kids, they're like, oh, we're going to do High School Musical 2. And then it's boom, it's Beauty and the Beast. And they're all like, what?
Little meta.
It's a whole thing. But then Olivia Rodrigo drops out outside of cameos for season 3. It takes place at a summer camp.
Oh, like High School Musical 2.
It takes place at a summer camp. And that's where they've got Jason Earls is like the camp counselor. I didn't watch season 3, but I kind of looked at it. I was like, I do not need to watch this if Olivia Rodrigo's not in it.
Wow. No, you're probably right.
But yeah, he's in there as like the camp counselor, and Corbin Blue's on there in some way. And they're putting on like an adaptation of Frozen, I think is the musical for the summer camp, which is really weird. It's a summer camp.
Why can't they escape a musical? Frozen, the summer camp musical? I bet somebody thought they were clever when they thought of that.
It's High School Musical, the series. What do you mean? It'd be like watching the original High School Musical, but there was no musical. Like, what?
There's not one. They only auditioned for one.
Well, yeah, but that's like the whole...
They don't even get cast. In High School Musical, the musical, they don't even have a cast for the musical by the end of the show.
Yeah, but then there's the third one where they do.
They do put on a musical in the third one. You're right. That's true. I'm just saying I think they could have done a season without a musical in it.
And then in the second one, the entire high school is hired by this one golf course.
Yeah, that's sketchy. That's a front.
Like, excuse me? But anyway, I'm reading on Wikipedia that Rodrigo makes their final appearance. This series was renewed for a 4th season, and that came out in June 2023, but it sounds like Rodrigo maybe didn't make a cameo in season 4 by the sounds of it.
Don't blame her. Look, she's on to bigger and better things.
Oh, hey, look at that! In the 4th season, they decided to put on High School Musical 3 as the musical.
They skipped 2?
So they skipped 2, but go back for 3.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow, it gets so meta. Wow. Sorry, one last comment, then I swear I'll be done. They get so meta that they put on High School Musical 3 senior year, and Disney, like the company, comes to the school to begin production on the long-awaited High School Musical 4, the reunion.
Oh my gosh.
And all the students get to be extras in the film.
That is the meta. Maybe you have to watch through to season 4 just to get back into the hat on a hatness of it.
Dude, I might have to watch this through season 4.
That's ridiculous.
Anyway,
yeah, Olivia Rodrigo has progressed her career significantly.
Nothing to do with the show after a cameo in season 3.
Yes, she's significantly past it, but she's also significantly past Sour, right? Since our last episode, since Sour came out in 2021.
It's been 4 years.
It has been years. We watched her perform at the Grammys. She was nominated for 7 of them in 2021, right? She won 3, including Best New Artist and Best Pop Vocal Performance. Then she hosted the Sour Prom concert film. She might not be in High School Musical, the series anymore, but she did do a Disney Plus documentary about her debut record. She did the Sour Tour, which is a combination of words that I do not like. Why are they pronounced like that? Sour Tour. Make up your mind, English language.
That is weird.
Yeah, right? Sour Tower.
Or Sewer Tour.
Sewer Tour. Well, that sounds like you're touring the sewers. So probably Sour Tower is the better one. But that sounds like a tower of sour, and that's not right.
Mm-hmm.
Tough. But then she took 6 whole months off of songwriting. After the Sour stuff wrapped up, she said she wanted to live a life so that she would have something to write about when it was time to write her next album. And so today we're obviously talking about the stuff that she did write about when that 6 months was up, hanging out in her Guts era. Sour was all about being a teen. Got my driver's license last week. Jealousy, whatnot. Guts takes much more of a mature point of view. A coming-of-age record. She's growing into young adulthood and wrestling with explosive fame and honing her style into a much more consistent edge, right? Losing a good chunk of, like, the pop sensibilities of Sour in favor of a way more straight-up, like, grunge and punk style on Guts. She's starting to find her musical voice. She did still work hand-in-hand with producer Dan Nigro, though, who has been a staple of her sound and energy from the very start, even on Sour. She also wanted Guts to be a lot happier than Sour, which, as you know, Sour tends to be a little more on the melancholy side. But Guts is also an album that she says is full of growing pains. She said there's lots of confusion, mistakes, awkwardness, and good old-fashioned teen angst. She also said, I feel like I grew 10 years between the ages of 18 and 20. Which, if that was true, then see, she's past us by now. We don't have to wait till we're 70. She's already past us.
Well, there you go.
She also really liked the wordplay. In naming the album Guts, she liked all the different various uses of guts people tend to employ, right? There's bravery, like you have guts. You spill your guts. You hate your guts, etc., etc. Like guts is a really provocative kind of noun. She teased the album for the first time in late 2022 and put it out on September 8th, 2023. Almost a year went by between the teasing and the releasing. It came out in all the usual ways, digital, vinyl, CD, but she also put Guts out on cassette tapes, which is interesting. The vinyl release of Guts sparked the 7th largest week of vinyl sales since Luminate started tracking them in 1991, which, so not super accurate. You know, there's a lot of vinyl record sales that happened before 1991, but still 7th biggest vinyl week in 3 decades plus. And she did promotions. You know, she did talk shows and magazine covers. She did a pop-up Guts gallery experience. And Guts was, as you probably know and remember, as Connor said, it was everywhere. It was a chart topper in 13 countries: the US, Australia, Germany, Sweden, the UK, the Netherlands, lots of others. In its first week, it sold more than 300,000 units, and all 12 tracks ended up in the Billboard Hot 100's top 40, which is remarkable. It was her second straight album to debut at number 1 on the charts. It also would end up earning 2 Grammy nominations, Album of the Year and Best Pop Vocal Album. And then Vampire and Ballad of a Homeschool Girl picked up 4 more nominations. No wins. And we talked about that on our Grammy episode, how she was surprisingly empty-handed at the end of the night. But still a good run to get that many nominations. And critically, Guts was also quite well received. Its Metacritic score is a 91 out of 100. Rolling Stone, The Independent, and NME gave Guts 5 stars. Pitchfork was an 8 out of 10. It's also got 3 Webby Awards, a People's Choice and Kids' Choice Award for Album of the Year or Favorite Album, and an iHeartRadio Music Award for Pop Album of the Year. So, I mean, that's kind of critically and chart-wise as big or bigger than Sour was. I think redemption is justifiable. No guts, no glory, is what they say.
That is what they say.
She also did a massive world tour with 102 dates that raked in $184 million. It was the highest grossing tour by an artist born in the 21st century. So that one will make you feel a little old. It just finished up on July 1st, 2025. We're only a couple weeks out from the end of that tour.
Wow.
And she was supported on tour by a ton of acts that I love, like St. Vincent, who we did on episode 197. Benny, an artist, was with her. Remy Wolf, we just did on 211. She toured with Olivia Rodrigo. Even Chapel Roan opened for Olivia Rodrigo before everything took off with her in the middle of this whole kind of run. There's also a concert film that premiered on Netflix. Guts also got a deluxe edition called Guts Spilled.
That's pretty clever.
Yeah. And it's got 5 extra tracks, one of which she co-wrote with St. Vincent. I kind of love that combo, honestly. I feel like the two of them together, that's not bad. That came out on March 22nd, 2024. And also some more small trivia. I mean, I mentioned that she toured with Chapel Roan, but Chapel Roan actually did backing vocals on 4 tracks on this record. Bad Idea, Right, Lacy, Get Him Back, and one song from the Spilled tracks called Obsessed. So that's cool. And since Guts, I mean, that's basically just now. So that's where we're at in her career. She did do some music for The Hunger Games, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. She's appeared at Coachella. She's performed with one of the Talking Heads. She was the closing headliner at Glastonbury 2025.
Her music for the Hunger Games movie, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, was pretty good.
Really? That's good. I haven't seen the movie or heard the music. I'll have to take your word for it. Is it as good as the Hanging Tree song?
I'm hesitant to say that. Some probably liked it better, but I don't want to overhype it.
Okay, reasonable. Well, as for her awards and accolades, I honestly forget what awards and accolades we covered on her last time up versus what she's earned in the middle. So today's summary, she's just got 108 major awards on 182 nominations, 1 American Music Award on 7 nominations, 3 Apple Music Awards, 7 ASCAP Pop Awards, a Billboard Women in Music Woman of the Year Award in 2022, which is huge, and I don't think we talked about that one because I don't think we could have. I'm pretty sure that episode came out before that award or concurrently with it. But she's also got 7 other Billboard Music Awards, a Brit Award, those 3 Grammys on 14 nominations, and I don't know if we talked about it, but Olivia Rodrigo was just the 13th of 15 artists so far ever to be nominated for a Grammy in all 4 General Field Awards in one night.
Wow.
Which is Album, Record, and Song of the Year, and Best New Artist. Which also, the General Field now includes Producer and Songwriter of the Year non-classical. But still, that's wild. She's got 5 iHeartRadio Music Awards, 5 Kids' Choice Awards, lots of other stuff. She also holds 2, and has lost 2 more, Guinness World Records. all surrounding the sales and streaming of driver's license, and actually all on Spotify as well. So that's a pretty narrow scope of world records, but a record's a record nonetheless. So there you have it. That's the update on Olivia Rodrigo, what she's doing now. And now it's time for some more factor spin. The Mixtaper is going to come tell us more things about Olivia Rodrigo, and we got to figure out if they're true or not. Last time, I was pretty disappointed by the Olivia Rodrigo episode.
Whoa.
I wasn't disappointed in the content, I was disappointed in the method. We went 50-50, and the Mixtaper brought 4 spins, and I think several of them he made up on the spot. Particularly, I always remember his fact about Olivia Rodrigo making her own potato chips, having her own chip recipe. She's got like Irish heritage, and he told this story about how she got it passed down through the family, and she makes them and gives them out and stuff, and it was a spin, and it was just a spin because the Mixtaper saw a bag of chips on the desk and like made it up in the moment, and I believed it. So that was pretty embarrassing.
I do remember that. That was pretty embarrassing. Hopefully you can do better.
Thank you. We also couldn't pronounce the name of Levon, her pet bird.
Levon?
Yeah, Levon, Levin, who knows?
Levin.
Anyway.
Well, let's get the Mixtaper on out here.
Yes, let's. Let's see if he's got facts that he made up ahead of time this time. Well, I guess those would be spins.
Hey, it's me, the Mixtaper.
Hello, Mixtaper. Welcome back. Good for you. You look happy and healthy. Not me, if you ever cared to ask.
I've come prepared.
Prepared. That's what I like to hear.
Or is that the first spin?
Oh. I don't know. I hope not. I have been jealous of Olivia Rodrigo's dog, which was a spin, but that doghouse that you described last time sounded nice. With pool access and a chandelier, I was like, sign me up.
Mm-hmm.
How do I live in that doghouse with Paris Hilton's dog?
Yeah, let's start here.
Okay.
She received a weird gift.
Well, I see we're not moving too far from where we last left off with Olivia Rodrigo. The last fact was about a weird item that she had sold online, which ended up being a spin about toenails, right? Tom York's toenails got sold online, and you just lied and said that it was about Olivia Rodrigo. What weird gift did she receive? If it's Tom York's toenails, I'm going to lose it.
A shoehorn.
A shoehorn is a weird gift, I guess, in the 21st century. But it's not a useless gift. I don't know. She wears a lot of, like, thigh-high boots and stuff, right? A shoehorn could come in handy, perhaps. What kind of shoehorn is it? Is it special? Distinct?
Yeah, I would say it's pretty distinct.
What's up with it?
It's got the presidential seal on it.
The presidential seal? She got a presidential? Is this a presidential mix-up?
We have a presidential mix-up. I snuck it in on you.
Wow, that was very sneaky. Well, which president?
President Biden.
Okay. I mean, that's pretty much what I figured. I just wanted you to say it. She definitely was at the White House. We talked about it last time. She went there to, like, promote vaccines and COVID relief and mask wearing, and there's a picture that's going around on the internet. Well, I say going around like it hasn't gone around years ago and is no longer talked about. But there's a popular picture of like Olivia Rodrigo and Joe Biden wearing sunglasses together or something, trying to look cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely think that's plausible. And he gifted her a shoehorn?
Yeah, with the presidential seal on it.
Okay. One, and this is a question you may not be able to answer, why does that exist? Why do we need the presidential symbol on everything? Does Joe Biden need a shoehorn? Like, surely that's not a popular White House souvenir.
Probably.
Well, then why would he give it away? That begs the question, why not keep it? But then the other question, and this is one you may have more insight into, is why did she get it? Did she see it, like it, and he went, you can have this? Did he say, oh, you're such a sweet young lady, here's a shoehorn? And she went, thanks? Was there some practical reason? Like her shoe got stuck while she was at the White House and he said, I have just the thing. And then she said, here, have it back. And he said, keep it.
It was in a bag of other gifts.
Okay.
At first she didn't see it.
Oh, was it not supposed to be in there? This is a mix-up, after all.
No, I think it was supposed to be in there. I mean, yeah, she didn't see it at first, and then when she did, she was like, oh, that's nice.
For the next 8 months, he walked around going, where's my shoehorn? And she returned it after 3 weeks. So she just kept it. What were the other gifts?
The now famous aviator sunglasses.
Naturally.
And presidential M&Ms.
Whoa, presidential M&Ms. Okay. Are they just red, white, and blue?
I guess. I don't know. Maybe they have also the seal on them?
Maybe. A gift bag full of M&Ms, a pair of sunglasses, and a shoehorn.
Yeah.
That's so random. I think this is... I don't know. That is weird. Shoehorn. It feels shoehorned in here. I don't know. Maybe that's a coincidence. I think this is a spin. Like, why even bother to put the presidential seal on a shoehorn? I just don't get it. Is that what our taxpayer money is doing? Making shoehorns?
Well, I have one last piece of information for you before you lock in an answer.
Okay.
She told this story on Jimmy Kimmel Live about how she got the shoehorn and was very confused by it. And, Jimmy Kimmel even jokes that, like, oh man, if I thought he was too old to be president, now I know for sure. He's out here giving out shoehorns.
Well, yeah, that's not exactly a symbol of youth.
And then her mother, who saw this interview in some way or another, then proceeded to get a hold of her daughter, Olivia Rodrigo.
Yes, Olivia Rodrigo's mother's daughter, Olivia Rodrigo.
Yeah. And proceeded to explain to her that it wasn't a shoehorn, but a presidential ice cream scoop.
That's way different. That's so Joe Biden. That's so funny. What an important piece of information. I mean, the man was memed for his ice cream consumption. Absolutely, it's a presidential ice cream scoop. Absolutely, that exists. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, this is a fact. Yep.
Going with fact. You're changing your answer.
Yep, that is a fact.
See, aren't you glad I gave you that little piece of information?
Yeah, thank goodness, because there's no way he gave her a shoehorn. There's no way he'd even have a shoehorn. It's so funny. And I've seen some ice cream scoops that do look suspiciously like shoehorns. So I'm on board with that.
This is a fact.
Oh, that one actually scared me. 'Cause all four of the other ones were spins last time.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, uh-oh.
I also saw a source that says her mother's the one that thought it was a shoehorn, and then somebody else told her it was an ice cream scoop. So I'm not sure exactly.
Oh, she was misled by the elders.
Yeah, I don't know. Either way, it was an ice cream scoop. But yes, there is, here is a link. You can watch the interview where she tells Jimmy Kimmel about the shoehorn.
That's awesome. The shoehorn. And man, maybe she is closer to 70 than we realize. Maybe we are a lot closer to the demographic she relates to.
Imagine going on national television and being like, yeah, the president gave me a shoehorn. Kind of weird. And then finding out later it was an ice cream scoop.
And you've been scooping your feet out of your boots all this time. Oh, man, why do my heels feel freezer burned? Walking around leaving moose tracks everywhere I go. What gives?
So yeah, that was a real presidential mix-up.
Nice. That really is. That's awesome. Much better gift than toenails. Still foot related, or so we thought.
Up next, Olivia Rodrigo does not have an ethically enriched bathtub.
Shoot, I would be willing to bet that I don't either.
That's another thing you have in common with Olivia Rodrigo.
Look at us. Look at us. We could be besties.
We could. Olivia Rodrigo, if you're listening to this, let's be besties.
What when you say an ethically enriched bathtub, I mean, are you cleaning it with like ethically sourced products?
No.
Is her bathtub made out of like ivory or something that's been harvested from an endangered animal? What gives?
Oh, then yeah, that's not ethic.
Just saying.
No, you're on the right track though.
Okay.
Kinda, in a way. Not so much the ivory part, just animal themed.
Animal themed?
Yeah.
Okay, and this is enriched. Like her bathtub itself is ethical, but she's enriched it in a way that's not ethical. Are there fish in her bathtub?
Or it's lacking enrichment and therefore is unethical.
She's got something in the bathtub that needs enrichment and doesn't have it?
Well, she wants something in the bathtub that needs enrichment but doesn't have it.
Weird. What? Fish? Frogs? Sharks like Van Halen?
Inky Jr.
Inky Jr.? Not more pets.
Mm-hmm.
Is Inky Jr. an octopus?
Oh, yeah.
Who's Inky Sr.?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, we'll put a pin in that. Who's Inky Jr.?
A baby octopus she met when she was just a wee lad.
Lass.
Just a wee lass.
High School Musical, The Octopus. When
High School Octopus, the octopus, the octopus.
Yeah. How old was she? How wee is wee?
Middle school.
Okay, medium wee.
Enough to, like, want an octopus, but also not old enough to realize it can't live in a bathtub.
Right, somewhere in the middle. Did she see it at, like, an aquarium?
Yeah.
Okay, and she just wanted it for herself.
Yeah, absolutely. She talked to one of the, like, aquarium staff and was like, I want to take Inky Jr. home with me. And they're like, who's Inky Sr.? They probably had the same question you did.
No doubt. I want to get him back. I want to take him to my bathtub, make him ink in all black, yeah.
The marine welfare officials had to explain to her that her bathtub had insufficient depth, lacked ethical enrichment, and mollusk morale, whatever that means. And unfortunately, therefore, Inky Jr. had to stay at the aquarium.
She's in middle school. Imagine being like 12 and you go to the aquarium and say, wish I could take that thing home. And somebody looking at you goes, sorry, your bathtub is unethically enriched and not prepared to host a creature of this. You got to worry about the pH in the water. You got to do this and that. It needs this much care and it eats this much seaweed in a day. And she's like, okay. Like, that's how I picture this goes. Someone's really enthusiastic about their aquarium job, just overzealous. But I'm sure her bathtub is not ethically enriched for octopus stimulation. So I'm guessing that's not a factor in the fact here, right?
Dude, if I was to say this was a spin because her bathtub was ethically enriched,
That'd be
I feel like I would. You'd have to let that go. I mean, fair play, right?
fair play if you can prove it.
Yeah, right. like if I had objective evidence of that, fair play.
Of how enriched her bathtub is. I think this is a spin.
Thinks it's a spin.
We talked too much about enrichment activities on the Tame Impala episode, and so now it feels like a recurring bit.
Oh, I guess we did, didn't we?
Yeah, I feel like it came up too recently and too prominently to be a coincidence, and I think whoever Inky Sr. is out there, Inky Jr. is in no danger of being separated from him.
Or her.
Well, you don't usually. Yeah, that's true. I don't know how.
Yeah, you don't usually what?
I don't know how octopus culture works, but the junior usually goes down the male lineage. Usually.
I see.
Again, octopi could be different.
This is an ethically enriched spin.
Yes. Love that. What gives? Who's Inky Jr.? Is her bathtub ethically enriched?
I don't know. I just made it up.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even consider the enrichment activities from Tame Impala. That maybe subconsciously I had.
Yeah, maybe.
I just really liked the title.
Yeah, it was a good one. A confusing one, but a good one.
Let's ramp things up a little bit here. She was interrogated by border police.
Whoa. At the border or somewhere else?
Somewhere else.
Oh, what? Really? Cool.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Sorry. Didn't mean to spoil that reveal. Where was she?
So she was returning to the U.S. from Canada on her Guts World Tour.
Love it.
While going through border security, she was her tour bus was asked to pull over. This was at 3 a.m. in the morning, by the way.
3 a.m. in the morning? Not the other one?
Yeah, 3 a.m. in the morning. They're trying to cross the border, and they get told, please pull over here. And then they go, we need you to come with us. And they take her to a secondary location.
Okay, I was going to say, because so far you're describing her being caught up at the border, which you just said was not true.
Well, but she's no longer on the border. Now she's in a building, in a room in a building that's not on the border.
Well, I'm not talking like standing on the line. Sure, okay. They've taken her to a building, an outbuilding where they interrogate people at border crossings.
Yeah.
Okay, at the border. And why is this a random stop? Is there a reason they stop her?
Well, yeah, of course there was a reason. Border security doesn't stop you if they don't have a good reason.
That's not true.
Well, it's because she had a criminal record.
Oh, no. Her driver's license. What's her criminal record?
Well, she stole Inky Jr.
Oh no. Her bathtub. It's not safe.
They're like, your bathtub wasn't ethically enriched for that octopus.
Excuse me, ma'am. Step out of the tour bus. We need to check the facilities.
Just as I suspected.
Oh.
A complete lack of ethical enrichment and mollusk morale.
Call the Coast Guard.
Call the Coast Guard.
And where's Inky Sr.?
Where is he?
We know he's in here. Let him check the toilets.
We know you have him.
And she's standing over the toilet, smiling, and says, well, if it was here,
it ain't no more. Oh my gosh. Somebody who's tuning into this episode and not previous ones is completely lost right now.
Oh, that's Waylon Jennings. Anyway. Okay, but what's her actual criminal record? What's the real problem here?
Well, that's what they were trying to get her to admit to.
Oh, having a criminal record?
Well, they asked repeatedly if she had ever been arrested before. When she was saying no, they were like, "Stop lying to us. We know you've been arrested before.
That's weird.
We know you have a criminal record. Why are you trying to come into the U.S., you criminal?"
What? As if a simple Google search won't clearly resolve why she's trying to come into the U.S. on a tour bus with a bunch of musicians? I don't know.
Yeah, well, Olivia was starting to second guess her entire life. Like, maybe I am a criminal.
What have I done?
I did steal an octopus. What have I done? And after 30 minutes of being interrogated by these border agents, they finally realized they were not talking to Olivia Rodriguez.
No.
And instead were talking to somebody who looked a lot like Olivia Rodriguez and who had a name that sounded a lot like Olivia Rodriguez, but was in fact Olivia Rodrigo.
Oh, man. A mix-up. She's like, please, the president, he likes me. I have his shoehorn. Let me through.
Look, I have his shoehorn. They're like, that's an ice cream scoop. We know you're lying.
Oh, man. Yeah, okay. So this is a case of mistaken identity.
Yeah.
Got it. You would think, again, a simple Google search would be like, oh, this is the pop star.
Well, they would have Googled Olivia Rodriguez. They thought they were talking to Olivia Rodriguez.
Well, you know what? That's true. A simple Google search may have been more incriminating. Well, they think Olivia Rodriguez, the criminal, was up on tour in the Great White North. Curious. Well, I think this is a spin.
A spin.
I don't know. A tour bus. A tour bus is pretty something. It's not like she would have been ambiguous about saying Rodrigo in any way that they would have been like, oh, surely that's the other name.
Well, I assume she had to show ID.
Yeah, right. And it's not. I don't know. I just don't understand how this could be so mixed up. I don't think it's true. I'm sure she crossed the border. I'm sure there's protocol for a big old tour bus. I don't know. I just don't think this would happen in the way that it apparently has happened. So I think I'm saying spin.
This is a true fact.
Oops. Wow. Oops. That doesn't reflect well on Border Patrol Customs.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, well.
And hey, Olivia Rodriguez, stay out of trouble, all right?
I mean, stay in the country, sounds like. Or go on tour. I don't know. I don't know where you'd be better off.
Whew, well, that takes some pressure off me. I was worried we were going to be in shutout territory here soon.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we could end 50-50 again.
Olivia Rodrigo has been banned by the clowns.
Thought you were going to say from the San Diego Zoo. Actually, that was a roller coaster of a fact. Because when you said Olivia Rodrigo has, my mind went, no, they can't be. Ghost detecting equipment, we found it. And then you said banned, and I went, oh, from the San Diego Zoo? And then you said, by the clowns. Who are, definite article, the clowns?
Well, the clowns of the International Clown Convention, of course.
Oh, all of them. Man, it's got to be hard work to run the International Clown Convention.
Parking ought to be a breeze.
Parking is a breeze, but once the leader steps down, like, you've got some big shoes to fill.
Oh, very nice.
Parking's a breeze. That's funny. Yeah, but the HOV lane is just as bad. Anyway. The commute. Why don't they like her? What's the deal with Olivia Rodrigo? Did she do something offensive to clowns?
They have a difference of opinions.
On what?
Balloon animals.
Okay. I'm pretty sure I know where the International Clown Association stands on balloon animals. What's Olivia Rodrigo's position?
That they're emotionally dishonest.
Sorry. Well, that's a really interesting place to take a stand. What's emotionally dishonest about a balloon animal?
She said that balloon animals are alive, wrapped in rubber, colorful distractions from deeper emotional wounds.
Why on earth did she say this? What's the context? Who hurt you? Was she holding a little balloon dog and it popped when she was young? She never forgave it? What's the deal?
Yeah, I don't know why she feels this way about balloon animals, but I have the context for why she was giving this quote.
Okay.
It was in response to being asked to perform in the Sad Clown acoustic tent at the International Clown Convention.
Oh, the clowns invited her to perform and she snubbed them.
Yeah, apparently.
And they said, you can't fire us. We ban you. We didn't want you here anyway.
Allegedly, a mime wept, a juggler dropped his pins, a harlequin fainted into a unicycle and was carried out by someone on stilts with rainbow suspenders.
What are we talking about? Yeah, man, they were probably pretty distraught when she...
This is what president of the International Clown Convention said happened when they received the news.
That is sad, and then they banned her.
Yep.
So, what? But we don't know why she feels that way about balloon animals?
No.
Very strong opinion to have. And what exactly, this is my next question, what exactly are the consequences of being banned by the International Clown Association? What's that mean? That you just can't be a member?
You can't go to the International Clown Convention.
I'm sure she was just dying to get there.
Do you need more of a penalty?
Yeah, what a great loss.
What are the consequences of being banned by the San Diego Zoo?
You never get to go, that's true. I honestly think, think of the vast numbers of the population that will never get to experience an International Clown Convention. Like, it's what a privilege, And she's just lost it.
She kind of spat on it, seems like.
Well, if she doesn't like balloon animals, it doesn't sound like the place she'd want to be anyway. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what this is. This has to be a spin.
That is what we're here to determine.
Yeah, surely she's not been so emotionally bereft after holding a balloon. How can you be sad after holding a balloon animal? This whole thing is flawed from the principle.
Well, before you lock in your answer, I do have one last piece of information you might find useful.
Oh my gosh. It's an ice cream scoop. Dude, clowns need a big ice cream scoop to get their shoes off. Sorry, all my clown jokes are about how big their shoes are. I've got nothing else.
Yeah, apparently. I found this on a Reddit thread that has since been debunked, but apparently has become a bit of a popular in-joke on that subreddit.
About Olivia Rodrigo?
Yeah, on Olivia Rodrigo's Reddit page. Like, whatever, subreddit, is that what it's called? Yeah, on the Olivia Rodrigo subreddit. Because there's a lot of references to it on posts.
Okay, so what am I judging whether this is true based on? If it's been debunked, that sounds like people already know it's not true.
Yeah.
Then spin.
Well, you have to decide if, the whole fact I've presented you is true or not. And that whole fact includes the fact that this is a Reddit meme on the Olivia Rodrigo subreddit.
Oh, yeah, I think this is a spin.
Oh, still going with spin?
I think Olivia Rodrigo is still in good standing with the clowns. And I'd go so far as to say she has never commented, at least in such a disparaging way, on the nature of the balloon animal.
Well, no, that part was already debunked.
Exactly.
You just have to decide if it was a meme on the Olivia Rodrigo subreddit.
Okay, that is harder. Weird meme, but I think it's still a spin.
Thinks it's still a spin.
Yeah, and if I'm wrong, the harlequin will faint into the unicycle and be carried out by a clown on stilts with rainbow suspenders, and the other will cry and Gallagher will smash a watermelon.
I'm just impressed you think I could create all that.
Well, I do think you probably could, or it came from somewhere else.
This is a fast spin.
Oh, wow, what a roller coaster. It's a spin.
It's a spin.
A very ambitious spin.
Yeah, it's a very ambitious spin.
Why? Why would I think she'd be clowned?
I don't know. She says a lot of sad things in her songs. A lot of, gut-wrenching lyrics.
True. Sad clowns and gut-wrenching. That's it. I see.
Yeah.
How did you come up with a quote that was about balloon animals being emotionally dishonest?
Well, I've had 100 and some episodes to prepare.
That's true.
I came so unprepared last time. I've been doing nothing but preparing for this one.
Wow. Well, that work has really
not paid off.
You're kind of better off the cuff, I guess. I've redeemed this.
Yeah. From here on out, I am only coming with made-up facts on the spot.
Well, then I'm going to be guessing spin a lot more often.
Well, no, I'll still be bringing true facts, but all my spins will be made up on the spot.
Well, that's no good. Yeah, you redeemed yourself on the Beach Boys episode and shut me out. I redeemed myself on the Olivia Rodrigo episode and pulled ahead once more on recurring episode facts.
You sure did. Listen, it was an ambitious round of Factor Spin, but I had fun.
Me too. Had a couple mix-ups, had some Grand Theft Octopus, little bit of everything.
Where is Inky Senior?
We may never know.
Well, maybe the clown fact was a bit of a bad idea, right?
Maybe. But, you know what? Fun nevertheless.
Yeah, I've got to go make my bed, lay out all the silverware and the sheets.
So you do. I can't think of a Good follow-up Olivia Rodrigo Guts song title joke.
Yeah!
Well, there he goes. Oh, I want to get him back. I kind of did get him back, honestly, already, by winning Factor.
Hey, I'm here. You said you wanted me back?
I meant it in the other way.
Oh. Well, you know now what you've done. Now I've got the grudge against you.
Well, that is no good. But it's logical. I'll give you that.
You're an all-American Yeah!
Oh, welcome back, Connor.
I have returned.
You have just in time to talk about the album art.
Oh, well, isn't that coincidental?
Isn't it?
Couldn't have planned it better myself.
No. Well, once again, it's purple. It's darker purple.
Yeah, because we're moodier.
Yeah, and instead of putting the album title on her tongue, she's just touched her tongue and put the album title on her fingers. Honestly, kind of a cool evolution of the tongue sticking out thing. Like, it feels very much in the same kind of aesthetic of Sour, but now it's kind of got more of an edgy undertone to it. That's not bad. I wonder what she's going to do for the next record.
I kind of want to get punched by that hand, have guts on me.
Ew. Smush a bug or something.
Actually,
it'd be
Stug, wouldn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
I'd be Stug.
You could have her put the rings on backwards, probably. What do you think? Is it redeeming? Is it better or worse than Sour?
I think it's better. I think it's less memorable.
Yeah.
But I think it's better.
I'd agree with both of those things. Have you seen the cover for the Spilled edition, where it's the same as this, but her mouth has got a big hole in it?
Yeah.
A little strange.
Yeah. Shall we get into these 12 gut-heavy tracks? I don't know. These 12 tracks.
Gut-heavy? Yeah, let's. Up first, proving she's grown up right away with the opening track, All-American B-word.
We haven't.
No, of course not.
We can't say that yet.
No, because then we have to mark our podcast as having explicit language, and then it's a whole thing. We've done 215 episodes fine.
Can we mark this episode specifically as not ethically enriched?
Yeah, this episode is... No, it is ethically enriched.
Oh, okay, that's good. An octopus...
We don't need to enrich it with all the bad...
Yeah.
Octopus safe.
Yeah.
This is an octopus-approved episode.
Well, not approved. Hang on. We haven't asked any octopi.
Well, yeah, that's true.
But...
It's octopus-friendly.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe you'll give it an 8. I don't know. Maybe octopus approved. Anyway, yeah, All-American bleep. It's a satire about expectations on women in society. She wants to be the perfect American girl, but she just struggles to live up to that standard. Hence, kind of they cast her away. She said, I've experienced a lot of emotional turmoil over having all these feelings of rage and dissatisfaction that I felt like I couldn't express, especially in my job. I've always felt like you can never admit it, be so grateful all the time, so many people want this position, and that causes a lot of repressed feelings. And I've always struggled with wanting to be this perfect American girl and the reality of not feeling like that all the time. And so, lyrically, she juxtaposes all these things. I'm light as a feather, I'm stiff as a board, I'm built like a mother and a total machine, I'm empathetic, I make light of the darkness. I walk the line perfectly is pretty much what she's getting for.
Johnny Cash style.
Yeah, Johnny Cash style. She's walking the line.
And getting kicked by ostriches in the guts.
Yeah, I got his guts ripped out by an ostrich. You know, she's more similar to the older generations than you might think. It's true, though. This title and the concept comes from an essay out of a 1968 book called Slouching Towards Bethlehem by Joan Didion. So, she's reading books from 1968, taking inspiration from there. I think that's good. That's, again, not the boy that I like lives on the street next door and now my driver's license makes me sad. Different. Totally different concept. Totally different tone to the lyrics. And one that has much more appeal to an audience that is outside the realm of, teenage girl.
Yeah.
Plus, again, I mentioned that on Guts, they ditched the pop sensibilities and kind of leaned more towards the rock and the grunge and the punk side.
Mm-hmm. I like how distorted it gets towards the end.
Yes. Yeah, they wrote it on a piano first, but then the vision came in to up-tempoify it and turn it into the rock anthem with the distortion and the yelling and hollering. To get all those screams that she does, I guess she just did take after take in Dan Nigro's garage of just screaming, and he layered all of them together. Apparently, after just 15 minutes, she, seriously lost her voice. She was really giving it her all.
I believe it.
Which is funny, because I've never felt like she was giving it her all at the screams. Felt like she was just giving it a lot.
Well, some people's all is different than others, Maybe that was her all.
That's true. People have different alls.
People have different alls.
That's how we make different belts. Anyway, what a song. And what a hit. All-American B-word debuted at number 13 on the Hot 100 in America, thanks to all the American B-words. And it went to the top 10 in Australia and Ireland and New Zealand. So there you go. I think it's a real improvement. I just think there's a lot of dynamic movement to the song, a lot of different styles and sections woven together into this song. At the end, I mean, they just do this vocal layering that's almost like a choir kind of singing. It's light and fluffy, light as a feather, stiff as a board. What a way to open the album.
Yeah, it's what I would have predicted,
You think?
to be a little honest with you.
Okay. How so? Is she predictable?
A little bit.
Very fair. Yeah, I guess a lot of artists do that, come out of their first record and suddenly want to make a statement.
Yeah, well, or it's even less that. I mean, it's a little that, but also, especially Disney or like child artists in general, right?
Yeah, Miley Cyrus.
As they mature into adult artists. And I think Olivia Rodrigo's done a good job of doing it and making her point that she is an adult artist now with her own adult songs and feelings and songwriting ability and is not a Disney kid anymore without going to the extreme and going wild like some of them do. She walked that line very well.
Yeah, she did.
I think. But it was predictable that this album was going to be full with more adult themes and adult language compared to her first one.
Adult language, no joke. There's a lot of it. This album, every song's got a little E by it.
And I'm curious to see if she does continue, and that it would be this more grungy, rocky style, right? Because that's like the antithesis of the Disney ballad and everything's rainbows and octopi.
Sure. Yeah, you know what they say.
So again, I just think a lot about this album, especially going just one track in, right?
Yeah.
Very predictable start for a follow-up album. And I'm curious to see if this ends up being her style that she does adopt and like and wants to continue to write in, or if she now finds a bit of a balance between the two going forward.
I feel like this is what she kind of likes.
Which is fine. I mean, again, think about like Miley Cyrus, right? A lot of her sound is now very rock heavy.
Yeah.
That is what she settled into. And that's fine if that's what Olivia Rodrigo settles into. I'm just saying I'm curious to see if this was an overcorrection or if this is truly where she wants to be. And only time will tell.
Yeah, I would imagine it's truly where she wants. To listen to Sour, she feels the most at home on songs like Brutal and Good For You and Jealousy. And other songs are good, like Traitor and Enough For You. It's just that doesn't feel like that's her main wheelhouse. And I think she's leaning into that, which is cool. Now, for Guts, I mean, they wrote over 100 songs. So she had her fair share. I think one of the reasons that she said she picked a lot of the rock songs for Guts is because they play better to an audience also. Like, crowds respond better to the rockier songs.
Sure.
So she's learning from her experiences, too.
But there's that more pop rock style of like Taylor Swift that she could settle into as well.
That's true. I just see Olivia Rodrigo going more in the Hayley Williams from Paramore direction.
Sure.
Than the Taylor Swift.
Sure.
I don't know. Time will tell. But honestly, she continues on the, I'm no longer a girl of 16 making my first album with Bad Idea, right? Still like juggling some heavier stuff, but presenting it in a lot lighter of a way than we do on most parts of the album. Bad Idea, right, is about texting an ex, going to hook up.
More than texting an ex.
Well, it starts with a text, and then she's like, oh man.
Yeah.
Should I go see him?
And then next you know, you're tripping into his bed.
That's, irresponsible. You got to keep your shoelaces tied and probably stay out of the bedroom. But then when you trip and fall, you hurt yourself.
Take the presidential shoehorn.
Yeah, right. Just keep your feet in good order. Take the president. If that doesn't stop you from getting laid, I don't know what will. Hey, do you want to see my shoehorn from the president? Actually, I'm going to go home.
Don't act like you wouldn't think that was cool.
Well, okay. Generally speaking, it wouldn't work. Bad Idea, right? Is the second single from this album. It hit number 7 on the Hot 100 in the US, got to the top 10 in Australia and Canada and Ireland and New Zealand and the UK. It was her 6th straight top 10 hit in America, actually, and it was also apparently the opener on her tour.
Oh.
Dan Nigro liked Bad Idea Right so much that he just straight up wanted it to be the lead single, and I could see that happening. I mean, they switched it to Vampire, and it was for a good reason. I mean, look at Vampire and the play count and stuff, but Bad Idea Right would have been a fine first single. I just really love that. The whole vibe of Bad Idea Right is really great. There's distortion, there's grunge, there's this tension that constantly builds, right? Starting the chorus small, Seeing You Tonight's a bad idea, right? And then turning it into this all-encompassing yell by the end. It's a really great production decision. It was actually born of a true story, too. She said, I wrote it in New York. Me and my friend Dan course, and producer, Dan, were at Electric Lady Studios, and I was telling him about one of my fun escapades. I sent this guy a text. She literally texted this guy and said, "Seeing you tonight is a bad idea, right?" And I was like, ooh, that rhymes. And I told Dan about it the next day, and he said, oh, that's fun. The refrain started as a joke. He was just making fun of me, and we were like, wait, maybe we're onto something there. And so we wrote the song Bad Idea Right, and I think I really like it. I think it's kind of funny and tongue-in-cheek, and the music is fun and upbeat and makes me want to dance. And it's pretty accurate. How do you feel about the chorus? She kind of says it's a bad idea, and then says, it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that's exactly how a lot of people in those situations behave. I don't think many people who make the mistake of reconnecting with an ex think it's not a mistake at the moment, right? I feel like most of the time you realize it's a mistake, but you're just in a place that you don't care. And that's the sentiment she's going for here, right? It's a mistake, yeah, probably, but oh well.
Whatever.
Can't be that bad. Can't be any worse than what I'm currently feeling, which is loneliness or whatever, right?
Yeah, the whatever, it'll get you bad.
Yeah. So, I like it.
Yeah, I just, musically, the chorus is very like, wah, 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 wah. It's like, okay, I get it.
Whoa.
The rest of the song supports it well enough, but, you know, I think it's a strong song. Pretty good single.
It's a strong song. It's a decent single.
It is, but then, of course, you move right into Vampire, which dwarfs the rest of them.
I know a lot of people are probably like, oh, Vampire, it's overplayed. It's not that good. But, yeah, it has been played a ton.
It has.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I think track 3 is the first, in my opinion, track that truly shows she's grown as a songwriter. Okay, yeah, she's gotten a little better at, writing chords or melodies or instrumentation or whatever, but she's had a lot of people to help her do that as well, right? I mean,
that's true.
But I think the ability to write such a metaphorical song as Vampire and do it in a way that pulls you in, right? The fast-spoken lyrics that are kind of silent, but then slowing it down and getting louder and more vocal for the melody. I think the ebb and flow of this song, I think the metaphor lands pretty darn perfectly, and it's done in a way that makes me go, okay, yes, here you are, Olivia Rodrigo.
Yeah.
2.0.
Nice. Yeah, welcome to the big leagues.
Steve 2.0. And that's why it got so overplayed. I mean, Spotify alone, 1.4 million people are like, heck yeah, Olivia Rodrigo.
No. 1.4 billion.
Yeah, sorry, you're right. Spotify alone, 1.4 billion people went, heck yeah.
An eighth of the planet. That's true. Yeah, Vampire is huge. And she said that it was meant to be akin to like a rock opera of sorts. And to be honest, it kind of is.
Sure.
Like I'm getting trace amounts of meatloafness in this track. Just in the way it's delivered and in the metaphors and that same kind of imagery. It really is. She said Vampire felt like an evolution. And that's just true. She said about writing the song, I was upset about a certain situation and went to the studio alone and sat down at the grand piano, and the chords and melody and lyrics just poured out of me, almost like an out-of-body experience. So it's clearly, I mean, that's a sign of maturing as a writer.
Yeah.
When this just comes. This is just your natural inclination.
And then just the vocal talent to just build and build on that chorus.
Yeah, build and build for sure. She said, I've always been really obsessed with songs that are very dynamic. My favorite songs are high and low and reel you in and spit you back out, which this one obviously very much does. She said we wanted to do a song where it just crescendoed the entire time and reflects the pent-up anger that you have for a situation. And Vampire's an angry song, a slow burn, bitter, like ruthless song. And man, what a hit. It was the #1 song in the US and the UK, Canada, Australia, Israel, Japan, and New Zealand. It was her third #1 hit in all those places, actually. So that's why it was overplayed. It was huge.
Yeah.
And it earned nominations for Record of the Year and Song of the Year Grammys, Best Pop Solo Performance Grammy. And even though she went home empty-handed, I mean, that's a strong slate of nominations. And it did win an MTV Video Music Award, a People's Choice Award for Song of the Year.
Any other year, she's winning, or whatever you said last week when you were like, it was a completely different whatever.
I did say that last week. That's true. Why did I say that?
Last week, I don't know, you're just like, if it was a different album on a different year, she'd have won.
Oh, because of Doechii. Because Doechii also lost to Kendrick. That's why.
Yeah.
Kendrick, not like us, cleaned up, because it had to. But you're right. Another year, Vampire would have been sitting pretty. That's a strong metaphor. You know, another way that she kind of shows that she's maturing is a song like Lacy. This was a unique song for her to write, too.
Yeah. Less popular by far, but everything's going to be less popular compared to Vampire.
Yeah.
But, I agree. I think we've hit a strong section of the album in terms of just analyzing, like, again, comparing Sour Olivia Rodrigo to Guts Olivia Rodrigo.
No doubt.
We've hit a good section for highlighting the growth.
Yeah. Growth. I remember we said that she was in High School Musical, the series, and now she moved on to college, the musical, the series. Well, she did go to college and grad school and stuff, and Lacy started out as a poem that Olivia wrote for a poetry class. It was an assignment, and she loved the poem so much that she turned it into a song. In fact, Lacy is the first song she's ever written that fully had all its lyrics done before doing anything with the music. Usually she kind of hashes them out both at once, but with Lacy, it was lyrics first. And that, too, shows, I think, songwriting maturity. Just that you can get your ideas out of you into words and then build a song around them. That's just cool.
Sure.
And it's very Jolene coded, right? This pretty girl named Lacy is inspiring jealousy and wrecking the speaker's self-confidence.
Lacy, 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 Lacy.
Right, it really could be kind of like that. And it also kind of echoes the themes of jealousy from an album ago. So Lacy, if you want a one-for-one comparison, take the themes of jealousy, and like the music of Enough for You, smush them together, and then you kind of get Lacy, which is greater than the sum of both those parts, which is cool. Lacy ended up in the top 30 in 5 countries, including the US and Canada.
Like ribbons in your hair, my stomach's all in knots. Pretty good.
Pretty good, but sounds like Lacy's pretty bad at tying ribbons, and you shouldn't be jealous of her fine motor skills. If you've got one thing you could be, have an advantage on.
Way too many knots in that hair.
True.
I do also like the Lacy lately kind of rhyme.
True.
The Lacy I just loathe you lately. I do like how lately and Lacy play off of one another.
Yeah, really good rhymes.
And again, the maturity at the end, right? With the, I despise my rotten mind and how much it worships you. Like recognizing her own jealousy.
Yeah, kind of separating your own self from your mind.
Yeah.
Is a really interesting way to illustrate that.
Yeah, it pivots the whole song to be like less of a stalker, oh, I'm just so jealous of you, Lacy, and more of a, I'm mad at myself for being so obsessed with you.
Yeah.
Again, kind of a little introspective.
Yeah. There's some lines in here, man. I feel your compliments like bullets on skin. This is an interesting one. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure Olivia Rodrigo's never been shot.
Yeah, how do you know what that feels like, Olivia Rodrigo?
I guess I don't know. Yeah, she's not speaking from experience on that one.
Or, well, to be fair, it doesn't say she got shot. It just says bullets on skin. Maybe she just took a bullet and, like, touched it.
Maybe she just touched a bullet.
And went, oh.
Oh. That feels like that girl I'm jealous of. Yeah. Also, aren't you the sweetest thing on this side of hell is a pretty raw lyric.
That's a good one.
That's crazy good. That's maybe one of the best lines on this album, and it's just sneaking here, hiding between the puff pastries and the daisies. Wild. Also, fun fact about Lacy, Noah Kahan covered this one. We talked about him on episode 118.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I think you're right. It definitely represents a lot of growth as a songwriter. And so, too, does Ballad of a Homeschooled Girl.
Yeah.
Which kind of takes us back to some of the themes on Sour, but just again from an older, more mature perspective. It's another social anxiety track. She's at a party, trying to party it up. Same as Remy Wolf's Gorilla, but very different vibes between the just absolute chaos of Gorilla and Ballad of a Homeschooled Girl. But the name, by the way, is an homage to Bob Dylan's Ballad of a Thin Man.
I wondered.
Mm-hmm. Ballad guy. You gotta know these things.
I am a ballad guy. Well, I just wonder. I didn't want to assume that just because somebody has the word "ballad of a" in there,
Ballad of a public schooled guy.
just because somebody starts a song with "ballad of a" doesn't mean it had to be related to that.
Yeah, that's true. What a song.
Again, some interesting lyrics in this one.
That's true. She caught some flack for some of these lyrics.
Yeah.
The every guy I like is gay.
Oof. Yeah, I can see how that gets a little flack. But also, maybe she's just got bad taste.
Bad taste.
Doesn't know how to pick them,
Well, I guess. I don't know. Just the social anxiety of it all. Yeah, I tripped and I fell and I broke a glass and I said too much and I made it weird and...
Yep.
Blah, 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 blah. It's all so bad.
I hate all my clothes. Feels like my skin doesn't fit right over my bones.
Tough. Yeah.
I still question this one. How to start a conversation. Not so much the on a website part, but just in general.
Yeah.
It's rough sometimes just going up to people you don't really know if you were homeschooled, right? And trying to interact with people, your peers, people your own age.
Yeah, or people like us who are not her own age, but she relates to the same amount.
But will be when we're 70.
And we will when we're 70. She'll catch up. That's true. Ballad of a Homeschooled senior citizen, that is. Yeah, no, it's very much a self-reflective song because of all of her work with High School Musical, the musical, the series, and her acting and her touring and stuff. She had to definitely be homeschooled for a large part of her school experience.
Yeah.
I mean, she was on like Bizarrevark and stuff even before High School Musical, the series. I hate that series title. It's so long.
It's great.
It's a great title, but it's so long. Before the series, she was still working in TV. So like
HSMTMTS.
that's as long as the other way. It's just a relatable song. And it's also still not devoid of humor. There's still some tongue-in-cheekiness here to get you through. I think that's cool. Her sense of humor, her attitude is really, like, refreshing and not just a downer all the time. That's a good track. We're getting into a stretch of the album, small stretch, that wasn't my favorite on my first listen. Making the Bed. In fact, I just didn't have any memory of...
Oh, yeah, I hate making the bed.
I never make the bed. Maybe that's part of the problem. But I had no memory of this track until we revisited the album for the episode.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Nevertheless, though, it is a top 20 hit in 5 countries. Making the Bed is no slouch. By the plays, it's more popular than Homeschool Girl. But whereas that one is tongue-in-cheek, Dan and Olivia wanted to make more of a serious song, and that's what they went for with Making the Bed. She's doing what she feels like she should do or what's expected of her, rather than pursuing what's going to be best for herself or make her happy. So she doesn't want to make the bed, right? Social pressure is why you make the bed. It's why everyone makes the bed. And if you think you make the bed for other reasons, you're probably lying to yourself. But she wants to just do what's best for her.
Some people just like their place to look nice, just for themselves. But
no.
But yeah, trust me, I know a couple people that even if they don't have people over, that bed's made. Because they like the look of like when they walk into their bedroom of it being clean.
Yeah, well, that is slowly eroding away at my sanity and mental health. But we don't worry about that. That's tomorrow me's problem.
But no, I don't make my bed unless people are gonna be over.
And looking at it too.
It's like I'm gonna be right back at you in less than 24 hours. Like
yeah,
you just stay put.
Stay where you are.
Stay nice and ready for me.
Yeah.
I don't have to pull the blankets back out and get them. You're already in the right position for me to just lay down, grab you, and pass out.
You do. Your bedtime style is more of a pass out than a time to prepare to sleep anyway. So.
Oh, yeah.
You kind of got to be ready at a moment's notice.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I can say goodnight and be snoring within 5 seconds.
Wow, okay.
Or up for 7 hours.
It really does depend.
One or the other.
Yeah. She had some good quotes about making the bed, too. She said, there's one song that I wrote about how my life changed because of all the things that happened with the last album and how crazy that was. See, that's a mature perspective that you can't get on the first album.
It'd be weird if you said that about the first album.
Yeah, right.
It's like, I wrote this song because of what I anticipated this album to.
About what I think my life will be like in a year. Yeah. She said it was cathartic in the end, but it was kind of hard dredging up all that stuff. Anytime something bad happens with my career, I'm like, wow, I'm so lucky I get to do this. You have to be grateful, but you still have to acknowledge trauma. She said I was 19 and had all this zest for life, but also was in the industry for the first time, and that could be kind of alluring. Oh, there's all these exciting people and exciting things, all these fancy, shiny new toys. She said, it's just a strange thing when you become successful and get noticed for songs that are really raw and intimate. And on a certain level, you feel like people really know you. And they do, but not in the way that your friends or family would know you. It's that same kind of embedded parasocialness that happens sometimes with songs and songwriters like this. It's not a bad song, though. I like it, and I understand why I forgot it, because it is a little forgettable. But the heart is good. The lyrics are great. What did you think about Logical?
First off, 2 + 2 = 5.
That's illogical.
Yeah, so, I don't know, this was, there's been a ton of songs like this.
Yes.
Right, where, I'm going to do a whole chorus or verse where I'm going to say a bunch of things that are obviously not correct, and then a couple things that could have been correct, but now that you have the context of all the incorrect things I said, you know that this is also incorrect. That's a thing that's been done to death.
Yeah.
I do like that she bounces back and forth between the two of them instead of doing just a bunch of metaphors and then one like hook at the end that's like the bomb drop. She spreads them out, right? 2 + 2 = 5. I'm the love of your life. Because if rain don't pour and sun don't shine, then changing you is possible, right? She kind of bounces back and forth between metaphor and real statement.
Yeah.
Which is a nice way to do it. Sky's green, the grass is red. You mean all the words you said. I do like the bouncing back and forth. That was a good take on it. But just this style of song's been done before.
Done a lot, yeah. Even the themes. I said back to the familiar theme where the old partner did not work out as well as one might have hoped. Vampire did it.
Yeah.
Bad Idea, right? Kind of did it from a future angle. Just so much stuff from the old album did it.
Yeah, I mean, that is, I think, the part that is most similar to Sour is a lot of these songs are still partner-centric.
Yes.
Or ex-partner-centric.
But perspective has changed a lot.
Not really, though. It's just the situation has changed a little bit, right? I mean, she's not getting her license and hanging out at high school or whatever. Now she's an adult and doing adult experiences, right? It's just the timing is shifted, not necessarily on some of the songs, don't get me wrong, right? On some of them we've talked about how the perspective is clearly there and the more mature rationale or themes are there, right? But on some of these, especially in this stretch of the album, it's a lot of just same story, different setting.
Yeah, which is funny.
I mean, but that works. I mean, look at Taylor Swift. I mean,
True.
She's still writing songs about exes, you know? And
yeah, it's working.
It's a format that works, and it's a song theme that a lot of people can get behind. So I don't blame her. It'd be nice to see something else.
Yeah, I get that.
Right? Give me an album about, like, other experiences you're having other than boys.
And fame.
For the most part, boys.
A lot.
Boys or like women who are with the boys she wants to be with, Lacy.
Yeah, but what's interesting is, I mean, this one, I guess it does have a very familiar perspective and familiar themes, but it's a rare song that's not a Olivia Rodrigo duo cut.
Really?
There are only 2 exceptions on the whole album where there's a co-writer. And yeah, this is one of them. They co-wrote it with Julia Michaels, who has contributed to songs by Britney Spears and Sabrina Carpenter and Shawn Mendes and Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez. And so maybe that's why the themes feel familiar to us. We've heard them all over the place from everybody.
Sure.
But Olivia said, I'd been wanting to write the song Logical for a really long time. I've had that little line, love is never logical, for a really long time. I think it's very poignant and double L, which I like.
Now that I've complained a little bit about the song, let's talk about what I actually like.
Oh, good. Hit me with it.
And I really like the verses where we get away from the metaphors and more just the raw. It almost gets more raw. Right, where we're getting to the, 'cause loving you is loving every argument you held over my head, brought up girls you could have had instead.
Yeah.
Said I was too young, I was too soft. Like that part, the way she sings it and the way the instruments kind of strip out, it gets so much more raw. Like that was great. But then you get back into the 2 + 2 = 5 stuff, which is again hooky and nice and makes for a good song, but predictable.
Yeah, it sounds like critical reception for Logical is also kind of lukewarm. Like, they say simultaneously the song is quite good and like a standout in quality, but also very forgettable and mechanical. I think Logical's missing a little of the special sauce that the rest of the tracks kind of have.
Sure.
But, a track with just the most special sauce is Get Him Back. The third single, what a hit. It's a little punk pop rock quasi-rap track, which was actually her setlist closer during the tour, and it went to the top 10 in Australia, Ireland, the UK, New Zealand, and then hit the top 20 in 5 other countries, including the US. And it's just an incredible pun. Get him back. Get him back in the relationship. Get him back, like, retaliate. Get revenge. Sweet revenge. I love the double meaning. I love the anthemic chorus. Oh, it's so cool. Like, I can only imagine being in a crowd live and experiencing Get Him Back, shouting the chorus all out at once. The song actually started out as a challenge to write a 2-chord song. Dan Nigro's dad had told him that the best songs had 3 chords. He said, okay, well then I'll do it in 2. And of course, the song has more than 2 chords in it.
So, challenge failed.
Challenge failed. He said, we failed, but we ended up writing something that we really liked with 3 chords.
Well, it's proven his dad right.
His dad was right. What'd you think of Get Him Back? It's got the same push and pull of Logical, right? I'm saying this thing and then I'm meaning the other and I'm twisting its meaning as we go. But it's so much better executed here.
Yeah, I think that's the difference. I think, again, song about a boy, whatever, I want him back. But I think it's the execution, like you said, that tips this one over the scale, right? If you're going to write something that's maybe been done before, because at this point, almost every theme's been talked about, right? It's what's your spin on and how do you do it? And I do think the execution of Get Him Back is pretty top notch.
Yep.
Like, again, I kind of talked about how Logical has like the typical chorus that's sure it's catchy, whatever, makes for a decent song. Get Him Back does that, but like to the extreme, right? It's like, oh, this is a good chorus, you know?
Absolutely it is. So fun.
And again, just the playing with the rhythms and everything.
Yes. I showed Get Him Back to somebody who hadn't heard it for the first time lately. And the first chorus, it was still new. By the second chorus, they could sing along with it.
Yeah.
It's like, that's the hallmark of a good chorus. It's cool. Also, the song made its way into Fortnite. That's fun. What's not in Fortnite at this point?
Right.
And also, the music video features a lot of Olivia clones. Maybe one of them's Olivia Rodrigo. They're smashing up a bedroom. They shot it entirely on an iPhone 15 before the product was officially released.
I was going to make a similar joke on Ballad of a Homeschooled Girl where there was the yearbook of like all the different Olivia Rodrigos.
Oh, yeah.
The yearbook, I was going to make a joke that one of them was on Olivia Rodrigo's, but I didn't.
I applaud your restraint. Then a few hours after Apple announced it, they dropped the music video and said, look, we made this with the new iPhone. Clever marketing. Good stuff.
That is clever.
And then we kind of, I have a couple of little lulls. Making the Bed Logical are like a memory lull for me. Love is Embarrassing and The Grudge was another little lull for me. We kind of enter into that with Love is Embarrassing. Still did fine. It was top 30 in our usual 5 suspects countries, right? The UK and Canada and the US and New Zealand and Australia. It was the last song that she wrote for the record, born out of a late night where her mind was replaying all the embarrassing moments she'd experienced. We'd all been there. In fact, Love is Embarrassing was such a late addition, she only had written it like 5 days before they had to turn the album into the label. And they had to cram this one in there so fast. They wrote 100 stupid songs for this album, and they went and added this last-minute track 5 days before the deadline. That's wild.
I'm not surprised. I feel like that happens. I mean, I've been in situations like that where like you've got this whole thing prepared, you're happy with it, but then you get this fresh new idea and you really want to do it because it's the fresh new thing you're excited about.
True.
And so then you kind of put it in there, even if maybe you shouldn't have because you were super excited about it.
Yeah.
It's not like it's a bad track. It's
No.
just, I think out of the other 100 tracks they wrote, there had to be something that maybe fit a little better in this slot.
Yeah, or was at least similar to this that they could have done before.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
But at the same time, think about all the #1 hits that have been like last minute additions, right? So you never know.
Yeah, you got to take the shot. She says it's one of her favorites on the record. And she did say the same thing that you just said. Sometimes the best songs on albums come very last second for whatever reason. So she's on board with that philosophy too.
Yeah.
It's also a cool song. It's very reminiscent of like 80s punk, Riot Girl music, new wave sort of stuff. It's a unique flavor-ish, unique-ish, but I don't think it doesn't fit with the album.
Are these snippets on Spotify from music videos? Or what are these?
They can be whatever they want. You can make them yourself. Usually artists take from music videos if they have them, but I don't think Love is Embarrassing got a music video in the first place.
I wasn't sure. I like all these little books that are references to the lyrics.
Yeah.
Why waiting on the phone for him works. How to always pick the wrong guy.
I know, right? Good stuff.
Manifesting a text back.
Good luck. Yeah, I don't mind Love is Embarrassing.
I could see why this song would be good in a stadium performance.
Yeah, it's high energy.
Yeah, high energy. There's like the call and response with the claps in the background. I could see why this would be a good song for not the setting in which I listen to it.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think that might be true about her style in general. I think she's got one of those styles that benefits a live stadium performance.
Yeah, I think so.
Which is something I don't say about a lot of artists. I'm not really usually a live concert goer.
No, not at all. You know a song that's not good for stadiums at all, though, probably? The Grudge. The Grudge is an interesting one. It wasn't a uniform hit worldwide. It went to number 6 in Ireland and 10 in New Zealand, but was only top 20 in Australia, Canada, and the US. Some places picked it up and ran with it more than others. And it's an interesting theme. You know, sometimes the people we look up to let us down. They're only human. And she's never actually talked about who any of her songs are really about, and probably never will, she says. But people speculate.
Yeah, well, of course, everybody always does, right?
People wonder whether The Grudge is about Taylor Swift.
Oh.
Yeah.
Weird. Not what I would have guessed.
There's a whole debacle with Sour, where she put writing credits for Taylor Swift on one of the songs because she was so inspired by, like, Cruel Summer, I think, for Deja Vu. And I just don't know if that inspired some, pun intended, bad blood between the two of them, or, like, what happened. But I don't know. There's no way to confirm for sure whether The Grudge is about Taylor Swift, but people think it. One phone call from you and my entire world was changed. You took everything I loved and crushed it between your fingers. I mean, you'd think that'd be a very specific person you'd be able to identify, probably, if you know much about her story.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I couldn't help but think about this whole song being sung by this person.
Oh, is that The Grudge? Like the horror character?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about who that is.
Yeah. But when you think about this song through the lens of like that person.
I try to be tough, I want to scream. Yeah.
But then we come out of your little lull, it sounds like, for Pretty Isn't Pretty.
Well, honestly, we do. And that sounds like it's not the case for most people. I don't think Pretty Isn't Pretty and Teenage Dream get a lot of love from the general public, but I love Pretty Isn't Pretty.
You think Pretty Isn't Pretty is pretty?
I do think Pretty Isn't Pretty is pretty. It's pretty pretty.
It's pretty pretty.
I do think it's well trod ground thematically, right? The song ideas, the body image stuff, it's stuff that a lot of people have talked about, but I do think she kind of puts enough of a fresh twist on it to keep it new, keep it original. I think that's great. She said, in this time period, I was super obsessed with social media. I would look for things that would hurt my feelings all the time and compare myself to everyone. I felt like my life was only what I showed to others. I didn't feel like my life was any deeper than my Instagram feed. And that's a really troubling mindset to be in as a teenager. And that's true. This is a way that we're from very different generations. Her and I, and you, I think.
Don't let me in with you.
Oh, well, her and I, we're just indifferent. It's fine.
I don't care for the falsetto. I gotta say it.
Really? In the chorus?
Yeah.
It is pretty high up there. You have trouble with that in a lot of things, though. Pretty isn't pretty enough. No matter what I do, no matter what I try, I just can't be pretty enough for my own ideal, which is so influenced by society. That's wild. Well, how do you feel about the closer, Teenage Dream?
I haven't had one of those in a long time.
Oh, it's been years. But when we're 70, the amount of time between our teenage dreams and Olivia Rodrigo's teenage dreams will be negligible.
Basically the same.
I think so. Oh, man. It's all about growing up in limelight and being famous from a young age. Lots of pressure. She said it's about a fear of not being a teenager anymore and not having this image of being some type of ingenue or prodigy kid. I grew up in this weird environment where everyone praised me for being talented for my age, and it's about me facing this pressure of making a sophomore record while also facing this pressure of wondering if people would still think I was cool even when I wasn't a 17-year-old girl writing songs anymore. I think that's maturity. I think that's great.
I think that is I think that's a very valid concern. I think a lot of people struggle with the sophomore album, right?
The sophomore slump.
Yeah, especially somebody who had their first big debut breakout when they were 16, and that's to follow that up.
Yeah, no doubt.
And then, I think that's already an awkward, insecure time in everybody's life. On top of then the sophomore slump, on top of then, how much of my success was because of the situation in which I was in. You never know. There's always those fears of doubt, right?
Yeah, you just never know.
Even though I was not a 16-year-old girl with a #1 selling album.
Not yet.
I still can understand the sentiment here. Not yet. Give me time.
Your day is coming. Yeah, no, I do. I think on the contrary to this song, I think I like a lot of what she's doing as an older artist better than I liked her early teen stuff, which, again, we certainly were not the target audience for.
But her target audience at the time was other teens, right, who might not.
Yeah, they are the ones that have to like the new stuff, too.
It happens a lot in, I think, the pop culture world where, right, you find an initial audience, but as your audience grows and matures and changes, as all people do, you then have to either find a way to still stay relevant to those people and change yourself. But if your change and their change don't align, you have to find a new audience and bring in new, fresh people. And that can be very hard to do.
Yeah, I think it's a great album closer. But she said, ironically, that's the first song we wrote that made it onto the record. She said the last line is a line I really love, and it ends the album on a question mark. They say it all gets better. It gets better the more you grow. They say it all gets better. What if I don't?
Yeah.
I like that it's an ending, but it's also a question, and it's leaving it up in the air what this next chapter is going to be. It's still confused, but it feels like a final note to that confusion, a final question, and it's great.
Yeah, and then they fade out on a nice little fartitude.
You're right. I didn't even hear that until I looked at the Spotify lyrics. What a way to end it.
I think it's a pretty funny way to end the album.
It is.
End it on a fart.
Well, let's end on a final spin. For me, I think this album shows a lot of growth. I think this album redeems Olivia Rodrigo in a lot of ways for my scores. But first, let's talk music. I think some of these songs end up being forgettable. I do think some of the melodies were stronger on Sour, but just some. I like that she's stepping into her own style, and maybe sometimes she's taking bigger misses, but I think that's because she's taking bigger swings. Given the music in 83, given the lyrics of 76, which is close to where Sour ended up, she's maturing, she's getting better, and on the whole, I think the rising tide's going to lift all the boats, and she's gonna, her third album, I think, is gonna be the good one. I think we're really gonna see her come into her own.
Not if the boats are in a different part of the ocean where the tide isn't rising.
Well, that's true. Instruments and production, I'm giving an 83. Punk rock edge is great. I like the consistency in this album. It never feels boring, but it never feels too off the wall. And she sings great. She does have a great voice. I mean, we've hardly kind of touched on it. I'm sure we did in the first episode, but man, she can really sing. Overall vibe, 85. I'm giving Guts a final score of 82.3, which lands it at number 546. As far as episodes we've done go, that puts it above Daft Punk's Discovery. Again, lyrics on that one. Just tank it. It would be so much higher if Daft Punk did lyrics and not just something's in the air, anyway. It's also below OK Orchestra by AJR, which is an interesting point of comparison for Guts. Two artists that are pretty close to the same general audience, I think, practically. But yeah, compare that to Sour, right? Sour had a much lower music score. Lyric score was close, but the instruments and the production and the vibes were way higher on Guts. Sour ended up with a 76.3, way down at number 773. So Guts is at 546. That's a 233 spot improvement, or like a quarter of the list. I don't think they're particularly close in any regard except the lyrics, but even still, those are much more mature. And Guts commits to its sound. Sour felt like it was held back by kind of a need to make poppier music to appeal to more people. And yeah, that is just a major jump from 1 to 2 for Olivia Rodrigo, and I think this is a bona fide redemption. How about you?
Yeah, I think I've been pretty vocal throughout the episode. I do think there's a lot of improvement here, but I also think there's a lot of the same here. Same, like I said, same story, different setting.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it. Those are the experiences she's having. If that's what she wants to write about, good for her. I'm just probably not the target audience, but it sure would be interesting to...
Good for her.
It would just be real interesting to see her write a song that's about something other than fame, insecurity, or boys. Because I do really like her voice. Like you said, she has a really good voice, and I really like her writing style on some of these hits across both albums we've covered.
Yeah, she's got a good voice, like narrative voice.
I'm not the target for the content.
Again, we're only like 50 years away, and this will be perfect.
Yeah. I did re-listen to Sour.
Oh, yeah.
In preparation for this episode.
Good. We get it in the episode this time and not tacked on to the end like the Beach Boys.
And surprisingly, this album kind of rode a very similar wave in terms of highs and lows. Where, you'd get a couple tracks in a row that I thought were pretty good, then it would dip down again, dip back up. But I did it's weird. I liked this album better, but I think some of the songs on Sour were more memorable.
Yes. Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Which was a weird place to be. It was like, I like this album better, but also I remember the other album more. Which is weird. So, Olivia Rodrigo's Sour has maintained since episode 54 the top of my 7s.
Yeah.
Nothing's been able to dethrone it from top of the 7s.
Except for all the 8s, 9s, and 10s.
Well, I'm just saying in the 7s.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm struggling on whether or not... I think something is going to dethrone it, and it's her. I think I'm going to make this the new top of my 7s.
Oh my gosh. She's back to back?
Back to back.
But this is a little bit of a redemption.
Yeah, I do think I want to reward this album and her growth as an artist by putting it above Sour. I just still not quite sure I can give it an 8.
Wow.
I'm not quite there yet.
So we're not Octopus approved. Octopus safe, not Octopus approved.
Well, listen, I really considered giving it the bottom of the 8s just so I could be Octopus approved, but I couldn't cheapen the 8s that way,
No, don't be disingenuous.
Just for the sake of a unit. Yeah. So yeah, Olivia Rodrigo's Sour finally dethroned at the top of the 7s by Olivia Rodrigo. Guts.
The only thing strong enough to penetrate it is itself.
I always appreciate a good Incredibles reference.
Yes, but what's the unit, though? What in the world could be only slightly stronger than 7 ooh sections? Which, I don't remember Sour having very many ooh sections at all, but okay.
I'm going to say 7 shoehorns out of 10.
Shoehorns out of 10.
But you got to put a question mark on shoehorn because we don't know, is it a shoehorn or is it an ice cream scoop?
Time will tell. I bet Joe Biden meant to give her the shoehorn, and he's out here scooping his ice cream with a shoehorn.
He's like, oh man, I accidentally gave away my presidential sealed ice cream scoop. I meant to give away this shoehorn.
Wow. Well, that's a very interesting redemption.
7 shoehorns with a question mark mark out of 10.
So the redemption year so far has been the Beach Boys being unable to escape the sixes, Olivia Rodrigo landing right next to herself. What's next? Stay tuned for the thrilling developments in the year of redemption. Frank Sinatra's been the biggest redemption, and we didn't even have a first episode about him.
But say my redemption went great. I don't know what your problem is.
Remarkable. Well, tell me about those Connor top threes.
Yeah, Connor, top 3. In album order, we're gonna go Vampire.
Oh, bad idea. To skip bad idea, but fine.
I know. I'm giving a honorable mention to Lacy.
Oh, that's a choice. Okay, Ballad guy.
I'm then jumping down to Get Him Back.
Yeah.
And rounding it out with Pretty Isn't Pretty.
See? Sleeper pick. Yep.
Yeah, that's what I'm going with.
Fantastic. Which of those is the playlist pick?
I'm taking Vampire.
I figured you might.
I'm the ballad guy.
Well, I'm taking Get Him Back.
Nice. I like that.
Pun guy. Showing our true colors here. Well, guess that does it. That's Olivia Rodrigo's redemption. Slight though it may be, progress was made.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm happy we talked about Guts. I was really anxious to listen to it when it came out and see how it compared to Sour. I think the Sour episode is pretty good, but I think we could do Olivia Rodrigo more justice. I think we didn't give her a fair shake. And now we have.
I think we gave her a fair shake for 16-year-old Olivia Rodrigo.
Well, that's it. I think we wrote it off immediately because we were so far away from the target of driver's license. And yeah, I think this just makes a lot more sense.
Now we only wrote it off a little bit because we're closer. When we're 70, we won't write it off at all.
No. Well, we probably won't be able to write too well. Someone will write it for us.
Speak for yourself.
But yeah, 70's not really that.
I can't write well now.
Oh, never mind. Oh, man, that's going to do it for this episode. Stay tuned for more Year of Redemption-y things. Next week's going to be an exciting episode, and you can find out more about it on our social media at SpinItPodOfficial on Instagram and at SpinItPod on X, and on the web at www.spinitpod.com.
Tell a friend who you think should go to the International Clown Convention about the podcast.
Oh, so tell all your friends?
Yeah.
Hey, but take public transit, please, if you can.
Really. Or carpool.
Or carpool. Yeah, that's right. You don't have the guts to carpool to the clown convention.
Yeah, I think that's everything. Are we forgetting anything? Oh, yeah, of course.
Oh,
keep spinning.
I don't know if I've ever changed from this is so untrue, what are we even talking about, to there's 100% chance this is a fact. There's no way this is a spin faster than when I learned that the shoehorn was a scoop. Like, ever. That was the quickest 180 I've ever done on anything.
Yeah, that was funny. So, you ever committed any crimes?
No, I told you this at the border.
I know you have.
No.
I know you've committed crimes.
No.
I know you have a criminal record.
Crime free.
You stole Inky Sr. Where is he? Where is Inky Sr.?
Well, if he was here before, he's not here now.